say nothing. You just gonna stand there like a creep.
I'm videoing.
Okay.
It's cook with you, not cook with me.
Well, you could have said, "Hey, babe, what you doing?"
Hey, babe, what you doing?
Oh, it's too late now. Hey, y'all. I'm dicing up some onions. I'm getting ready to cut the corn off. This was some fresh organic corn that a client of mine gave me. Straight out of his garden, and this is what's left. We've been eating on this corn. Does that look okay?
I was looking at the corn.
Okay. This is what was left. We've been eating off of this corn for how long, babe?
A couple weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks. So this is what's left. I'm gonna make some fried corn. And so right now I've already, we shucked the corn, took the silks off, and I washed it. And then I've already started cutting up the peppers. So these are the sweet peppers, green pepper, yellow pepper and orange pepper, onions. And then after I get it off of the cob, I'm gonna put it in a skillet with a little bit of unsalted butter, some garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of sea salt, some pepper, paprika, stuff like that. But I'll talk y'all through it when I do it, as I do it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So tonight we having the fried corn. Obviously, we're gonna have some smothered turkey chops and rice with black beans in them with some steamed vegetables. And then I'll show you guys how I steam my vegetables. We do it in the microwave with a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, sea salt. Most times I do it with fresh garlic, but I ran out, so we just use either granulated garlic or garlic powder and fresh lemon juice. And we put it all in a bowl and season it up with some Italian herbs and seasonings or whatever. So the Italian herb mixture could be like basil, thyme, a little bit of rosemary, things like that, and oregano, parsley. All of that gets tossed up together, and in there with the lemon juice. And the lemon juice actually acts as, to create that steam for the vegetables. And then, but it actually has like that, that acid as that nice tangy flavor to it. We put a little bit of pepper and stuff like that in there. But again, I'll show you how we do it in just a second. So right here is the green peppers. You got your onions. I'm gonna cut these up, and then once I get this cut up, I'm gonna set it to the side. I used to have a bigger cutting board, but this one is small, so it's kind of hard for me to have everything lined up on it. So I definitely am gonna set it to the side once I get everything diced up and ready to go. Yeah, so I know, I have I have a lot of experience as a chef. I've been cooking since I was probably 10, 11 years old. I remember the first time I tried to recreate a dish, we had went to Jewtown in Chicago. And they used to have these Jewtown Polish sausages. And they used to, and I know everybody that's ever been there is going to be like, yes. So what they used to do was they used to, I want to say fry them. So they would split them and they would sear them. And they would have like this char on them, like the char, but not too much, but just enough on all the sides, and then they would grill peppers and onions, or you could just do onions, and they put it on these long, soft rolls. And then you'd have these steak fries, which was like the size of my thumb. And they would take it and roll it up in wax paper. The fries would be in one of the little paper boats, and they would have the Polish sausages. And the only thing you would have to put on there was just mustard. And it would be the soft roll, the Polish sausage, which would be nice and smoky, and then that char on it with the grilled onions, and then they put a little mustard on. I used to eat mine with mustard and ketchup. And when I tell y'all, that was the best meal I had ever had. And so I was like, you know what? When I get older, let me grab a Ziploc bag. When I get older, I'm going to learn. I'm going to teach myself how to make it. So when I got old enough to cook, I said, I'm going to just put this in here for right now. I can set it to the side. Because I'm going to also put a little bit of peppers and onions in my my smothered turkey chops. But yeah, I said, when I get old enough, I'm going to recreate that dish, and I'm going to learn how to make that dish. So anytime I want a Polish sausage, I can make my own Polish sausage. And that's what I did. And my dad was home from work one day, and I made him one. He asked me what store I got it from, and I told him I made it. We had these little paper lunch bags, and we used to carry our lunch in, and I made that, them fries, and I made everything exactly as I remembered it. And my dad was shocked. He was like, "Oh my God, girl." Yep, I remember that. So ever since then, I think I had, you know what, give me a bowl, please. Them usually my sous chef, he over there asleep. If it ain't Dad, you already know. You on deck. I need a bowl. A nice size bowl.
One of the big white ones.
Yeah. Make it easy on myself.
Hi, Em.
I tell the boys all the time, I say you work smarter, not harder. So well, here's what we do this like this. And see, that way it'll catch all the kernels as it falls in there. And then there's another step that you take to this that a lot of people forget about. And then they be like, why is my corn, my fried corn don't have that creamy taste to them? Because this is the starch. With the back of your knife, you get all that starch out of there. That's what helps make it sweet, and that's what helps everything sort of stick together. So then when it's time for you to see all that, you see how sticky that is? So then by the time you get ready to fry the corn, you put it in the skillet, everything starts to break down. The starch breaks down and then creates like a creamy consistency. But yeah, so then my mom later on, after my dad passed away, she opened up a catering business. And I used to be her right hand. I would help her with everything from bookkeeping to making platters, cooking, and all that kind of stuff. And when she used to be a placement officer at a college in Chicago, New World Institute off of 10th and Wabash, she would she had a lot of dealings with some of the chefs and stuff that were at the different restaurants, the hotels and stuff downtown, because she did placement for down there. So since my mom had, used to recruit and do job placement for these different hotels and stuff, because it was in the hospitality industry, she She used to get these cookbooks from these chefs down in like Laurie's and Hotel Nico and places like that. She would bring them home and I would learn how to make the dishes out of them. So even then, I just knew it was a hobby of mine. It wasn't nothing that you really took seriously at first. You know, I just was like, oh, you know, I enjoy cooking. You know, I like to create, and even more than I like to create the dishes, I used to like to see people's face when they eat, like, oh my God, it's so good. And so, you know, as I became an adult, I didn't even think about becoming a chef. That was like the furthest thing from my mind. You know, I was working in the dental field, of all things. I used to train. Well, I worked up I started from being a sterilization assistant. I know that sounds fancy, but it's not. It's just washing them dirty, disgusting, filthy dental instruments after people have their treatments done, and cleaning operatories after people have been in there getting, you know, their different procedures done. And I was doing that for a while. And then I worked my way up to the front desk. And as I worked my way up to the front desk, you know, the manager took a liking to me. She was just like, you know, you're really good with people and you know how to do scheduling really well and you know how to run the front desk. So I'm gonna give you your own office to run. And then I ended up moving to Philadelphia to run the office and manage a couple offices. And then, you know, and then after I got burnt out doing that, because I think, in my opinion, Philadelphia is a hard place. But it's very hard when you working in the public and it has anything to do with people having any type of government assistance, because you come across people that's in need and you want to help them, but you can't do it. Like foster children being mistreated and all that kind of stuff. And so when I started running into that and starting, you know, to see that there was nothing that I could do for them from my end, and it was like my hands was tied because I was working for a corporation who really, you know, it really didn't matter what was going on with these kids. I had it. Plus all the little, you know, the little stuff that was going on in the office. You got 9 women working in the office. Obviously, it's going to be some kind of drama, which I can't stand. It's already hard for me to deal with a bunch of anybody, let alone a bunch of women. So it was like, okay, I think I had enough. And before Nate and I got married, I remember years ago, my first husband, my late husband, he passed away in 99. He had told me, he said, you need to open up a restaurant. He's like, I'm going to open up a restaurant for you one day. And I was just like, you know, that was dreams or whatever. And I never really even thought about it. I was just like, I just like cooking for you. It, you know, wasn't no big major thing to me. So after I finished going through all that I went through as far as, you know, with the dental offices and this, that, and the third, I had just had it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do something for me for a change. I'm going to go to culinary school and get my education, and maybe I can be a chef. Because initially, I just wanted to be a pastry chef. I wanted to design cakes. But the thing is that once I started seeing how much master chefs made and how much master pastry chefs made, and I saw the difference, and you learn how to do everything. You still got to go to school for the same length of period of time, because you go to school for culinary arts, but you do a concentration in pastries. So I'm like, I would have had to go to school for the same time, so I might as well get everything and just learn like that. And that's what I did. So it was fun. I met a lot of nice, good, cool people. And yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll probably put like 2 tablespoons of butter in there, because basically I'm only doing that because as the starch breaks down in the corn, it's going to add a richness to the sauce. And butter is better. Love butter. I only use a little bit anyway. So today I'm going to use organic vegetable broth in there. Some people just use water, but I want to make sure that the flavor is on point. This is organic EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to put a little bit of that in there. You don't want to sweat the vegetable. You want to saute them. So you don't put a lot of fat in there, because if you put too much fat in there, it's going to make the vegetables sweat. I don't want them to sweat. I want them to saute. It's a difference. So, we got onion powder. And you can actually add, this is cracked black pepper. You can add as you go, and you see how you can tweak your own flavors. You can do like a Southwestern thing with it. So like if you have like a cilantro lime seasoning, or one of your favorite seasonings that you like, you can omit certain flavors, certain seasonings, and add certain seasonings. Instead of using just vegetable broth, you can even use lime juice or lemon juice or fresh cilantro, and to help the fried corn take on like a Mexicali kind of flavor. So it's a lot you can do with it. But you know, for today, we're just gonna make a classic fried corn. And then, you know, back in the day, when my grandmother and like my aunt and my mom, they would make it, they would use old bacon grease, bacon renderings from it. And sometimes if I want to add meat to it, I'll use turkey bacon. We have this really good turkey bacon that we get from Sam's, and it's made by Godshall Farms. That's right, babe? That's the name of it? It's made, Godshall Farms manufactures it, and they're actually Amish people, which I met a lot of Amish people living in Philadelphia. Beautiful people. They are very crafty. They, I wish y'all could smell this. You smell it, babe?
It smells wonderful.
They do a lot of handcrafted things. Everything is made from scratch. You know, very wholesome ingredients. And I really, really appreciate getting a chance to know a lot of them. And their food is out of this world. It's outstanding. So, all right. So we don't eat pork. We don't eat shellfish.
We don't eat pork.
We don't eat.
Since when don't we eat pork?
Since ever.
Oh, that's right.
We don't eat pork. We don't eat shellfish. We don't eat bottom feeders. We don't eat bottom dwellers. We don't eat unclean foods. If you look in the Bible, which actually, hey M,
Your Bible out in the car.
can you go get my Bible,
Back seat of the car.
please? Yeah, in the Bible it talks about y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all gives us instruction for everything in life. Period. Point blank. Anything that you think about that you've ever been through, there is some instruction in the Word that can tell you how to handle it, what to do and what not to do. And even in the Word it says there's nothing new under the sun. You might think that, oh no, this not my situation. Yes, your situation too. It's everything you need to know about life is in that book. So,
What version do you read?
this is scriptures. This is the scriptures rendition or translation, I should say, of the Bible. And so I also have the Bible app on my phone, which I'll put different versions on it so that when I'm studying and I can kind of
Cross-reference.
cross-reference certain things. So in the sense of, if you wanted to know, and see, we live in an information age now, so you really don't have an excuse. To say, hey, I never knew that. So I'm gonna just pull up while that's sauteing, because we want the onions to be translucent or a little bit clear. Okay, and you can even do it till it's a little brown on it, because that's what we want. We want it to have nice texture. When the onion's brown, that's caramelization, so it's releasing the sugars in the oven. In the onions. So that's what you want, because when we add the corn is going to start to break down rather quickly, and so you may not get that same effect when that's why I'm sauteing them separate. You see that? You see them little brown little tidbits in there? And just so y'all know, I'm doing this sort of medium high. Okay, so just maybe a couple more minutes, and then it'll be ready for the corn. So, and what I'll do, just so that the oils from the herbs can release, I'm going to put the herbs in here first, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the corn in there. The reason why I do that, because it's opening the dried herbs back up. Almost is like rehydrating. So, anyway, I'm going to go in here. I'll refer back to that in here in just a second. So you see that? That's perfect. Who is this?
That's a tall digger for me.
It is. Alright. What? Wait. I
Your
think I
herbs.
said I was going to do
You just said
that.
you're going to do your herbs.
Hi, boo-boo.
I'm not going to be mommy.
Not yet, but you will be.
Joshy.
I'm excited. I don't want to eat.
Well, if you don't eat, you're not getting any cake.
No cake.
Mommy gonna make a cake and you're not getting none. Alright, so the corn is going in here.
I'm excited. I don't want I don't want it.
Okay, so we're getting all that starch out of there. Every little bit of it. And then I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. So I'll put it more like medium low. Wash my hands real quick.
My YouTube slow on my computer. No, watch movie in your room. You never have to move anywhere.
Looks lovely, my baby.
So what I'm going to do is, because you got a little bit of starch, if you can see it kind of stuck to the bottom of the pan, so you see what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a little hole here. And I'm going to put this vegetable broth in, and it's going to deglaze the pan a little bit. So it's going to pick up that starch and help it to mix into the corn. And it'll start absorbing in the corn and help the corn cook down, and it's going to help everything be nice and creamy. So periodically, what you want to do, you see how it's already clouding over? You see that? It's picking up that starch. So periodically, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stir it. Make sure it's not sticking. You got it on medium low. So that's what you want. Put a little bit of, this is garlic powder. I got this from the Cab Farmers Market in Atlanta. They have bulk herbs that are just awesome. They have everything that you could possibly think about as far as herbs and spices go. This is pink Himalayan sea salt that I also got from there. I got these gold mason jars. I mean the glass mason jars. I got these from the dollar spot in Target.
Baby, that was the door for you.
I know it was the door. That might have been your son.
Let's see who's at the door.
Probably Jay.
It's JJ.
You're gonna have to cut it out.
Really wish I could smell this because it looks and smells lovely.
All right, so we just need a little bit of that cracked black pepper. Okay, we put a little bit of the pink Himalayan sea salt. I would say maybe a quarter teaspoon, and then you can adjust the seasons as you need to. But I put just a little bit in here, just a little bit in the palm of my hand. I would say it equates to a quarter of a teaspoon. You can adjust it as you need it. But yeah, that's basically it. So this will be more of a side dish. A lot of people don't know that corn is a starch. And so when you start making side dishes, if you're talking about doing a balanced meal, I've seen people do like meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn. But so you got meatloaf, two starches, and no vegetable.
But we're about to do rice.
No, but we're gonna also do steamed vegetables. So this is just a small side dish. Only reason why I'm even making this today is because the corn, I didn't want it to go bad. So I wanted to go ahead and use it so it didn't go to waste.
We don't like to waste
So
food.
then now you just cover it. You're gonna cover it.
And
I'm gonna put it on low.
And try not to throw it off the
And
stove.
try not to burn the mess out yourself. But anyway, I'm gonna put it on low and put it on the back burner because I need this eye so that I can make the smothered turkey chop. You all right?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Jesus. Need to be released.
Well, they relieved. Yeah. So, y'all remember the other vlog with baby was he had made me a birthday cake. I was saying we clean as we go.
Almost there.
So that's what I do.
I don't know what she's talking about. Don't give me the evil eye.
Clean up, clean up.
That's Josh's song.
Everybody everywhere. Clean up, clean up. Everybody do your share. Leviticus 11. Before I start talking about the word, let me just tell y'all what I'm doing. These are turkey breast tenderloins. And they are extremely tender. We got these from Aldi's.
Love and care.
Not earlier today. This was another Aldi's trip that we got this from. And basically, it's being marinated already in some seasoning. So it's basically like a rotisserie type seasoning. It's just a lot of herbs and it would kind of remind you of like a Italian dressing. And so they come pre-marinated like this. You don't have to add really anything to it, even though I do put a little bit more love with it. What's wrong? Yes, it is. There's one more left. I saved it for you. Hold on here. I have to make sure I wash my hands.
Right there.
Dealing with raw meat.
Man, boosters.
So, but anyway, they come already marinated, and basically all you're doing is I'm getting ready to show you how I slice them up and spread them out because they're really, really thick pieces of tenderloin, right? So I pat them dry a little bit, and then but I mean, they've been in that packaging marinade for quite a while. So, Jada, will you give me the flour? They've been in the packaging marinated for quite a while. So, like I said, only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some seasoned flour in here, and I'm gonna dredge them in the flour a little bit, and then I'm gonna put them in the pan to brown. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna put them in the pan to brown, and then I'll take them out and let them drain on a paper towel, and then I'll make the gravy for them to be smothered in. I'm sorry I'm not measuring anything, y'all. This is probably like a cup. It's probably a cup of flour. Put that up.
They got fun.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start buying them packs because
Yeah.
they were on sale, and I like that chip mix better than So
It's a good job.
I just made some seasoned flour, so this is like a cup of flour, probably like a little bit like a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, a dash of onion powder, a little bit of sea salt,
HETC.
and can you stop?
What? Do that. Commercial.
A dash of onion powder and a little bit of cracked pepper, because I didn't want to put too much in there because this is already very well seasoned, so I didn't want to put too much in there. So I'm getting ready to preheat. I got a little bit. I probably got
What are you doing?
maybe 3 or 4 teaspoons of oil in the bottom of that pan, that little pot there. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dredge this in the flour a little bit. Christian, since you in here hovering, go get me a plate and put a couple pieces of paper towel on there.
Oh, you nasty.
So this is all the flour you need on this. And unfortunately, y'all didn't get a chance to see, but the turkey chops are like shaped like a, not to compare it to unclean food, but it's shaped like a boneless pork chop. So, but it's thick. It's about that thick. So what I did was I took the knife and I ran it lengthwise and I sliced them. Almost like butterfly and chicken breast. But I cut it all the way in half to, so we only hit, I know y'all saw a picture. Put one more piece on there, please. Yes? Okay, set it over there.
Why
you do the
That's it. That's thumbs down. You don't know that? Anyway, so there was 2 in that package, and that package is only $5 and some change. Okay, that's why I love Aldi's. But that package with the turkey tenderloin breast in there was only $5 and some change. And in there you get 2 pieces of turkey breast tenderloin, and out of that it made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a little tiny piece. So that's plenty for our family size, even though they greedy and hungry and do the most.
Wow.
So that oil was heating up. I've already dredged this piece into flour, so I'm getting ready to put it in the oil. Yes, sir. No, you're gonna wait for that. Okay, so as you can see, it's already hot. So I'm gonna just put this in there. I'll turn it up a little bit. I probably should have waited a couple more minutes. So let that hang out in there right quick. And then I'll go ahead and dredge this next piece. And then I'm gonna wash my hands so I can show y'all in the word where it talks about how we should eat. Because you know, before being awakened to the Torah, and before being awakened and understanding who I am and the laws and the commandments or things like that, I didn't know. I had no idea. I did not know that there were dietary laws. I had no idea. And so for me, it's like if I didn't know, I know that there's other people out there that still don't know. And so, you know, I feel like y'all has placed it on my heart to share what I've learned with those that want to know. And if you don't want to know, to each his own. That's your business. It has nothing to do with me. That's your business with the Most High. And, you know, good luck with that. So anyway, that being said, in Leviticus 11, I'll start with verse 1. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aaron, saying to them, speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are the living creatures which you do eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. It says, and I'm going to say it again, speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are the living creatures which you do eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. So, right away, that's what it says. It don't say, hey, you can eat this until somebody tell you that the law is done away with. It says, you can eat it regardless. It doesn't say, just read this part and not the next part. So as you can see, I just flipped this. You want to get a close up? What you doing? Thank you, my baby. So this is the turkey chop. You see how that is?
Nice and golden brown.
So all we're doing is we're just going to let that brown. Turn it over, let it brown like I did, and then we put it on the plate and let the oil be absorbed here on the paper towel. And also it gets the turkey chops out of the way so that I can make the gravy in here. Because what I'll do after I make the gravy in here is I'll just layer the turkey chops back in there with the peppers and the onions. So you guys will see it. They're good. So now that all the turkey chops have been brown, I'm going to take like right at like maybe a quarter cup of the seasoned flour. And I'm going to brown it. It's browning in there. And it already has a nice little base to start from because you got the renderings or the droppings from, I hate to say droppings because it sounds like something else, but you have all the renderings from when you seared your, when you browned your turkey chops. So you already have a base to start with. While that's browning, I'm gonna just take my onions and peppers and I'm gonna put them in here so they can start to cook with it. This is just going to be our little simple pan gravy. I'll add just a little bit more of olive oil on top. I got to get some more. Just stir it all together. That way everything will cook together. And as you can see, it's got a nice little light brown color on there with the flour and everything mixed with the peppers and onions. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to let it cook a little bit so some of the starch can cook out of the flour so that it won't taste pasty. But when it finishes cooking down just a little bit, I'm going to add this unsalted chicken broth to it. So what that's going to do is help everything to come together. All that starch is going to create the gravy from the flour and all the renderings from the turkey chops from where we browned them. So just let that cook down just a little bit. And then this dish, I'm telling you, if you didn't see me open up a package of turkey breast tenderloin, you would swear it was pork chops. So this is for the people who are still going through that thing about pork, but want to eat right. You know, this is for y'all. Everybody's walk is not on the same level. And, you know, I'm not judging anybody. As a matter of fact, just the opposite. I want to be able to help you, you know, the same way I would have wanted somebody to help me to live right. It's a struggle, you know, when you're first coming into this walk. And so if you know somebody that, you know, if you're a Hebrew, or if you're somebody that has come into this walk and you met some new people and you say, you know, I think I can help them, then do it. You know? That helps to make their walk that much easier. And it's a blessing to you too if you can reach out and help people, you know, so that they won't be, so they won't stumble as much. Nobody's perfect. Everybody is gonna have times when they stumble and, you know, and fall, but you don't stay down, you get back up. So this is the last piece of this. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Is about like a half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. I'll add just a little bit more of the garlic powder. These are just staples that everybody should have in their kitchen if you're gonna be doing cooking, you know, doing any type of cooking. These are just staples. Onion powder. I used to mix all of these and have like a whole all-purpose, just keep them mixed. It had garlic powder, onion powder, Himalayan sea salt, and pepper and paprika in there. But I used it all, and I just, being lazy ain't made no more. So that's that. You know what? I'm gonna leave this out because we get ready to make some rice, pot rice. Which actually, do you want the black beans and rice, or do you want this rice?
That's fine.
Sure.
Mm.
Okay, so this is brown. We don't eat white rice. This is brown basmati rice. So this is gonna be real easy to make. Usually with rice, you want to do, if you do 2 cups of rice, it's 4 cups of water. But with this particular rice, you prepare it a little bit differently. Just checking my phone. So now we got the chicken broth in here with this gravy. It's already starting to thicken already. Nice little pan gravy. And it may look a little loose when you add the chicken broth. I probably added the equivalent of like 2 cups in there. But like I said, it'll look a little loose when you first add it. But keep in mind, you're gonna put your turkey chops that has flour on it back in here. So as it's simmering, as it's cooking, when you have it on low, it's going to thicken even the more. So don't be afraid if it's a little loose, because like I said, it's going to thicken. I'm gonna add just a little bit more because we like our gravy to be a little bit more saucier than thick. So I just added probably another 1/4 cup of chicken broth in there. You can use whatever kind of broth you want to use. I just use something that is near whatever meat that I'm making. So like, say for instance, if I were making a pan gravy for a beef product, I would use beef broth or beef stock. If I'm using chicken, if I'm doing chicken, I use chicken broth. If I'm doing turkey, I use chicken broth because they're both fowl. They're both poultry. So that's what I do. You can do how you want to go. So now I'm gonna add these back into the gravy, and so it'll finish cooking them. It'll just finish them, and I'm shingling them into the little pot. and it'll be just enough room. Sometimes I make them in that pot, but because I wanted to use that pot for the corn, I use this one. Or that pan, I should say. So now everything is covered. Yep, just like that. And then we're gonna put the top on it, and I'll reduce the heat. Is this on medium? And then we'll just put it right at medium to low. So let's say 3. I hate electric stoves, but I praise y'all because this stove came with the house. Eventually I would love to switch everything over to gas. I guess that's the chef in me, but that's what I prefer to cook with. I think it gives you more you know, I think it gives you a better regulatory heat. I think it gives you an even cooking, especially when you are baking. It's just all in all better. It's easier when you are trying to heat up certain things, but you know, this one cooks. It works. It was free
and new,
sorta new, brand new. So praise y'all.
Is it turned yet?
Not yet.
oh man.
It's every 5 minutes you in here. Every 5 minutes you in here.
What you want in the refrigerator? No,
You didn't even finish your applesauce. So
you can have your
that's a no.
chocolate milk with dinner.
Come on, come out of there. Let's go. You got 2 seconds.
Mommy,
Close
Close
it.
it. Yes.
Well, YouTube, here is the final product with all the stuff. Boy, it looks good. I can't wait to eat it. If y'all interested in any other cooking, make sure you comment below. We'll check it out, and I'll have her put it on her next little cooking vlog. And make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you know. Thanks.